Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. Today's episode is 3:30 a.m. Don't ask me why it's so late. I don't know. How you doing? How's it going? Me, I'm alright. Thanks for asking. Why is it 3:30 a.m.? Why does the sun go down and rise? I don't know. Why are you asking me this question? I don't have an answer for why time passes and why we experience it in the way we do. I just play card games and some other games now because of the First Look series. Anyway, no, I mean, it's just late because I didn't stream and I just kind of sat here and took some time to not do anything. Which is good. I mean, not a lot of time though, because I spent a pretty good amount of time doing other recordings, which is actually why it's so late, is because I recorded 2 first looks today. And I think I did an episode of Haiku. Maybe I didn't, I don't know. Either way, yeah. Hope your day went well. It's Thursday for you. Again, I need to start working on the Monster Train backlog so I don't get smoked by my upcoming vacation where I will be out of town, but, you know. Will I? Won't I? Whatever. I'll get content to you. Again, if when I was sick last month, I really came to the realization that one, I need to unplug my controller. Hold on. There you go. One, or rather, the realization that I came to is that I will almost certainly bring you Monster Train every day because I was like waking up from my like one of the worst fevers I've had in a few years and just like stumbling, sitting down in the chair, taking some decongestants and then going, yep, time to play Monster Train. And if I got Monster Train up every day during that time, I'm probably going to get Monster Train to you every day, no matter what. I feel like that was the greatest challenge I will have to face for this, but who knows. I guess, no, realistically, the way that you miss a Monster Train episode at this point is like my power goes out for a day, or like the internet goes out or something. But anyway, coming up on the channel, so Patrick's Farebox is done, and if you can skip all this. I'm gonna try to timestamp these videos moving forward, but I'll see. I'll see how I do. So Patrick's Farebox is finished. That game is over. I'm going to play. If you watch the first look, I will be starting today. The video should already be up. I will be playing Haiku the Robot, a nice little Metroidvania that I covered a little while back. So if you're interested in the series, which I am basically calling what I want to play, or games that really get me excited, I don't really know. You can check that out. And then there'll be a first look later today for a demo game called Brotato, which is fun. So keep an eye out for all of that stuff. Also Chrono Trigger, so 4 videos a day for a little bit still. Alright, let me ask you a question and let's get going. Today I want to ask you, if you had to take a guess, and I'm interested just to hear what your thoughts are on this. There's definitely a correct answer to this question, but if you had to take a guess, what would you say is the game with the most versions or variants? Any game, however you want to think about it. I think it might be Tetris. I was reading about this. I was reading about Tetris. Don't ask me why. I was on the wiki. Well, actually, I will tell you why. I found out that I saw this trending on Twitter. I found out that the studio that made FL Studio, the music software, made a game in the 90s called Porntris, which was a porno Tetris, which, like, what? That. And I just went on a little bit of a reading about Tetris line. And I think the game, the answer to this question might be Tetris. It also might be Godzilla, because there's a lot of Godzilla games, like a crazy amount. Let me know, what do you think? Give me your guess. You tell me. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's go. Melting, Exile, Wurmkin, Exile, Plating Seal, Darkness, Chaste, Molten, Casement, Shelter, Wicked Blaze. On Little Fade days, I don't mind if the intro goes an extra minute, because this video is probably going to be 20 minutes. Truly. Let's take Rationing Scales, because it lets me play aggro in the early game with Little Fade, which is cool. However, it's Exile Wurmkin secondary. I'll play Spikes. We got a, what? We got a second reform. We got Shelter, but I'm probably not going to use it for anything more than a little bit. I'm down for some Spikes. And with Spikes, even with Rationing Scales, I'm not going to take the money. I think that today I should not be too tired for the video because I was up very late last night. What's been happening to me lately is getting the 5-1. Yeah. Good shelter for 2. That is just bad. What's been happening to me lately, especially like yesterday it happened, I'll be really tired in the monster train recording, and I'll get a second wind mid-recording. I'll like get up and I'll walk around and I'll come back, and I'll get this second wind, and then I will just be awake for like a lot longer than I should be after the second wind. Very strange. Hang on, I gotta count here. 15 and 1 is 16, 16 and 15 is 20, 25 is what I can do here. Yeah, not really a reason to play here then. Well, I guess there is a reason. But if I do 15 here, well no, Fade has burnout too, so she doesn't die if I play her mid-floor. So I should play her here then, because this saves me. Actually, it makes no difference because of rationing skills. This entire line of questioning is worthless. Never mind. Rationing skill heals all the damage back. There is nothing to min-max. Indeed, indeed. It really doesn't matter. Alright. No primitive mold on the next turn, that's guaranteed. We could get it. Nice. If I didn't pull primitive mold here, we might be in a weird spot, but should be fine now. Hopeful that I draw. I guess I could draw no primitive mold on this turn. Good. Should have played Wicked Blaze. Yes, you are correct. Doesn't matter though. This is a great look, and it wouldn't kill me here, so it's fine. But it's a great look at why I hated Fade at the start. Sometimes you just miss there, and then you take a bunch of damage you don't want to take. But I didn't miss, so I don't have any complaints. Repul's good. Yeah, I don't really want these. You could try to do something funky here with Fade and Shelter, but I don't think it's very likely to be good. It's kind of awkward. I don't think you're getting enough shelters to keep Fade alive indefinitely anyway. I need to go right and pick a unit. You can't not take a unit here. We just need to grab like Shards of Carver or Keeper and stick that on top floor. Oh. Oh, okay. Huh. Well. I think that the 2 eggs here are both very bad. I think maybe I should pick one because it will have stats and you could play like Endless Egg or something here. But I'm just gonna play Fade. I'm just going to, you know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna give a +10. No, it's just really awful. Like, it's really just terrible. I want to give health is what I want, but I can't. And also it might be Sweet Boss. I'm just gonna assume that I'm okay. I've taken no trial, or I guess I could take the trial. Yeah, I could take the trial here because I don't care about the damage I take unless I die in this combat, but dying in this combat is unlikely. And so if I take the trial, the problem is it sets me top floor with Little Fade, and that's a little bit awkward, but should be fine. I cannot play a Train Steward. I will mess up my fades. And we've had extremely good luck so far with the reform draws, and I hope that it persists. You can get 2 here with Fade. As long as I don't miss my reform draw, it should be okay. What we have to think about doing is we have to think about bailing top floor soon. I have to think about it at least. Boss spawns, she's a... I think that it's acceptable like this. I think I can greed for the kills. I think it'll be okay. You know what I can do? 2, 3... What I can do here actually is I can set up like this. No. That 5. No, I don't want to do it like that. Okay, I have a guaranteed primitive mold next turn. As long as I had this primitive mold for sure on the next turn, I'm not worried. I just wasn't sure if I was going to draw them all here. I didn't, so I can go primitive mold, I get full fade here. She does die. What I can do is I can play Molten Encasement though. Get a little more damage out of this. That might be a mistake because I might not redraw fade now. Oh, never mind. Alright, good stuff, good stuff. Everything has turned out great here. Gotta say. It's just like, the combat early game with fade is just mitigating the chance that you lose because you whiff your primitive mold draw on the last turn. Because that can happen. I will skip this. Oh, I should mention too, I have my window open. I forgot to mention this in an earlier video I recorded, but if you hear any weird noises in my content in the coming days, just know it's because I have my window open. You might be able to hear the bugs. I don't know if the mic's picking them up. Echo Transfer, what I wanted to look at here is Fade Spikes. I don't really think Echo Transfer makes a whole lot of sense here. I think I can just skip. Gotta give a shout out to Rationing Scales. I fear for Daedalus without a unit. I'm a little worried about that. Level stack plus 20 consume -1. Yeah, Wickless Baron, absolutely fine. Great unit to just slap down and farm a few kills with. Combo's great with Little Fade. I'm gonna make Wicked Blaze cost 1. Here we got 40 guaranteed pack shards, so I gotta take 60. I'm not gonna take anything before like combat 4 or 5. Little Fade, you want to stay 0 pack shards until it's time to go nuts. I don't see a reason to dilute our deck here. You really just want to be able to play Primitive Mold every turn, so we don't want to add cards that aren't Primitive Mold because they aren't Primitive Mold. Maybe a hard one to wrap your head around, but I think you can follow along with that logic. Primitive Mold is important, the rest of the cards are unimportant. If I'm able to play Little Fade every turn and I give this like half of my brain power, I'm pretty sure the run wins. However, I have gotten up to a point where I am very overconfident with my Little Fades, so maybe I'll get caught here by something I'm not expecting. Here's another piece of Monster Train trivia that I don't know. I think that Constructed Explosive, if it explodes... Actually, you do know this. I do know this now by the combat preview. Constructed Explosive triggers Harvest if you kill it with pings, but does not trigger Harvest if it naturally despawns. Very interesting that it works that way. This is an absolutely optimal draw. That is crazy how good this is. I mean, not good, obviously, but if there's a turn for me to draw no primitive molds, it's that turn where I have where I want to play Fade top floor. That is downright great. I may as well take the Harvest. There's no reason not to ping for Harvest there. No reason to let the enemy walk. It's a perspective shift sort of situation, though, where in my mind now, all I'm really thinking about is how I maximize my Little Fade. And 2, 5. If I play Shelter, Fade gets an extra kill. That's good. Yeah, all I have to think about now is I have to think about how I get Fade more kills, right? That's all there is to it at this point. We can do something like, and this was an idea that I had when I was doing that. You can kill Fade. I was in the middle of saying something else, but then I got sidetracked, so never mind. Whatever I was saying, just forget it. I'm gonna go ahead and set the Molten Encasements, because I can here. Fade dies next turn, she kills everything. Baron doing his job to the fullest, I would say. And I have a primitive mold. You just gotta check there. If you don't have a primitive mold there, and this is the sort of playing, you gotta make heads up plays like that. If I don't have primitive mold there, you... I should have put her in the front. Oh, I thought she might get the kill back there. Anyway, if you don't get primitive mold there, you kill your Fade and reform her, so she's not gonna be a whiff. But we had her. Don't need any of these. I could pick a unit here. I could pick... I think of these three, I could pick Keeper, but I don't really like Keeper here. Although... There's a line somewhere in here that's like keeper, keeper, fade, shelters, and we keep Spike's fade alive forever. I don't like it, but that line's in there somewhere. Take draw because it mitigates bad primitive mold draws, and I don't know, man. What am I going to duplicate? I can't duplicate Little Fade. I can duplicate Shelter. What am I gonna steal shop? Yeah, I don't really like either option. I don't feel like I need anything other than relics, and relics are not even really that important here. Pray with me for party boys. I hope that this combat is party boys. Firewall's good because it increases our effective HP even through the rationing scales. Tempered Talisman's also okay, but sometimes you need to be a little more precise with your pings, and I don't want that. I don't need that. +3. Where do I need to be precise? On Fade, when you're pinging Fade pretty much entirely. Party boys. Give me party boys. Haste is the worst. Mark of Invasion is okay. I should be fine to take it. Although with haste combat, maybe not. Yeah, actually with haste combat, I don't think it adds any more kills to Fade. Thinking about it now. I don't know how you play this one. It was not Party Boy Boss. I want to play Fade bottom floor and get a rolling, but I don't want Wickless Baron to miss. It's really awkward. I think that I'm going to play Fade bottom floor and Wickless Baron is just going to miss a kill. I'm pretty sure that tunneling on Wickless Baron here is not right, but the reason that we're doing this is because what we need more than anything else right now is Little Fade kills, and this is the line that gives me the best chance of Little Fade kills. Also, oh god. That draw is not good. I feel like the way that I said that sounded a little bit like a daytime TV show, but like a trivia show of some sort. Yeah, holy moly, do I just die for that? Oh, god. Huh. Okay, let's do some thinking about this. I can, if I play Molten Encasement, my Wickless Baron gets to swing. It's an important swing because it takes this guy's damage to 18. I can do 1, 2, 3 is 6, 30. I'm at, okay. So there's the only line that survives from this position, survives this turn, is ping here, Molten Encasement here, right? That's the only line that survives that turn, because Marksman's just gonna kill. Maybe you could get away with it by playing Shelter. Oh, you know what? You could actually play Ping Ping Shelter, and then we never whiff we never have the wrong unit come out of primitive mold. But oh well. I forgot to calculate the firewall as well. Well, 50-50. Good. Acceptable. It has enough health to kill this whole wave, which is also good. 7 puts you at 4. I want to give Fade 6 more HP through Shelter so that she hits the Clipped Guardian here. This is definitely one of those little Fade runs though where the Spike's Fade is not snowballing out of control here, which is always a little more disconcerting. Put the primitive mold there and I went, damn, shouldn't this do more damage? No. It shouldn't. 4 off? That's a shame. Almost got him though. Got him to 4 HP. Alright. Now in this position, I have to play Fade bottom floor. No doubt. And then we should be fine, because I just get to replay her 2 more times ideally. Primitive mold. And we're gonna get out of this okay. Thank you to Firewall for saving the run. Like 100%, absolutely just saving the run here. I would have died without Firewall. Very cool. I do not feel like I am meant to take away what I'm gonna take away from that is not that I need another reform. I'm gonna take resin removal. Yeah. The end. I could pick Forced Contamination. It's a nice little killer for Fade. She's behind. She's very far behind, and it's not good. I don't feel like I hit any of the good early combats for Fade, so now we're just playing catch-up. I think maybe you pick Forced Contamination there, but I don't love it. I'm gonna go look at a trinket. Light's Gift is really bad. Faulty Loader is okay, because it would let Fade kill a first wave enemy for free. They're dazed, obviously, I know that. But yeah, I actually like this a lot, because what this opens up is turn 1, Fade goes bottom floor, kills 1. Turn 2, she goes mid floor, gets killed. Turn 3, she goes top floor. I like that. Plus 5 HP for Fade is also pretty good. It might push her over some breakpoint. Which one is it? I mean, it's 5 HP. Or 5 attack, I guess. I don't think there's one. Not worth the hammer chest plates. Not worth the money. The Flicker's Liquor is cool. 30, 40. I have to take at least 10 packed shards here. And I will Purge Stone. I guess Echo Break. I don't want to get rid of too many Echo Breaks though, so ideally I'm not going to purge any of them with money or removals. Okay, I'm ready. Giving it one more look. I'm ready. Let's do it. Don't take any trials. We're on Little Fade catch-up duty here. I need Little Fade to go nuts. She's not going nuts. Oh, they're not... No, I guess this is how I expected it to go, actually. No, this does look correct, actually, now that I look at it again. Now I just reform Fade on top floor. That's the line right there. I was thinking about this a little bit incorrectly in terms of how the waves would look, however, I think it still works out fine. Yeah, 71 is higher than 57, and she lives. 4 damage on the next turn means that I just kind of ignore his damage output. I was thinking about playing Shelter there, but I don't need to. Ping down the Master of Light, because if I can, I would love to get him on the spikes here. 77... 84. Can't get him on the spikes here, I don't believe. What a shame. Fade redraw odds are not good. Not bad either. I believe in my ability to draw Fade on the next turn, actually. I have faith. My faith was not incorrect for once. Wow. I don't know what to do with that information. Fall coming up is fine. Thinking about, I should play Shelter here actually. There's no reason not to. Cool. This is... Am I out of my mind? Did I just end my turn twice? What the hell just happened to me? Am I okay? Was Self-Made Harpy? Self-Made Harpy must have been down there, and I was just not focused enough. I think Self-Made Harpy was down there and I was just not paying close attention. That has to be what just happened to me. And I just didn't notice. Has to be. It has to be. Because otherwise... Monster Train just had the boss spawn and then jump away, and that that has never happened to me, and I don't think that ever will happen to me. I think that the boss spawned and I was not paying close attention because I was tired. Yeah, it had to be too because the last wave was top 4. My apologies. I was not focused. Melee weakness 3 back again. You know what? I'm convinced. It's fine. I wish it procced on spikes, but it's okay. God, I have to take so many pack shards here, which is a real shame. I don't want to take pack shards here. I want to removal. And I don't want to removal Echo Break. I can't removal Molten Encasement. I think I could get rid of Dripfall. I haven't actually used it for anything yet. I'm gonna get rid of one more. I should have checked the temple before I looked at that. I should have just went to the temple actually. Yeah, because there's a purge stone here that I have to figure out what's going on. Probably shelter. And I can do spell chain force contamination, maybe kill 2 birds. I can do molten encasement onto molten encasement. I should have removed this unit, molten encasement self-infused. That should have gone away. And I don't know. I should have gotten rid of that. Bone Shine, Bone Rattler. I'll take a +10 Molten Encasement because in some universes it matters. If I had 10 more attack in the last combat, I took 6 less damage. So, you know, matters slightly. I think that I have no cards I want to duplicate in this deck as it sits. I don't want to duplicate for pack shards. I could have actually done a pack shard duplicate, but yeah, no, I didn't think about it. Darkness Arcus is okay. Yeah, it's not the worst. But you know which one is the worst, but it's in this position it would be the Rage Fell version. I don't know which one is Rage Fell though. I don't remember what he's called. But that one would be the worst. No reforms on turn 1 at all recently. Strangely. Can't Shard is fine. Purge Shelter here is fine. That was just not worth it. I'm just gonna get rid of the consumes too so I don't have another bad draw situation happen. It shouldn't, but in this economy, you never know. Oh yeah, Fade was bottom 4. Sorry, it's like, sometimes when I'm tired, and I'm a little tired, don't get me wrong. I said I wasn't going to be too tired in this episode, but I'm still a little tired. And sometimes when I get tired while playing Monster Train, I just start to see shit. Or I get less focused, I guess is a better way to say it. I pay less attention to things. Like how many echoes I have on each floor, for example. I don't want to play this unit right now, I don't think. I don't want to dilute my reform pool with Molten Encasement self-infused. That seems very bad. I guess when I get to choose it's not that bad, but you know what they say. Beggars don't always get to be choosers. 101 and 130 is a really high number. So I'd have to give this Quick Reflector a lot of armor. Yeah. That looked right. That looked like an optimal turn right there. Force Contamination gets its moment. 1-6. Yeah, that's enough for lethal. Need to try to kill Fade. No reason to. I'll draw her again. The killing her idea is only really for if I can, I guess. First of all. I do need to be able to, first and foremost. Hey, nice rally shard, by the way. LOL. Lamau. This resin removal has been extremely good. Great stuff, like really a good looking fight. Now, I do have to make a bit of a judgment call here. Will I die if I play Fade bottom, top floor? 29 will hit Fade once, and then she will die, and then I will get smoked. I will almost certainly die. Only 122 there. This is the part where we sacrifice all that we've done to this point. because it doesn't kill Arcus. Yeah. You know what does kill Arcus though? Molten Encasement, Little Fade, Force Contamination. It doesn't quite kill Arcus. 3, I'm gonna take like 44 from this enemy. I have rationing skills. I'm gonna get hit 4 times, he does 11 damage each time. Yeah, that looked right. That looked about right. Again, could have missed my draw here and died, but I didn't, so no need for an if. Alright. And I could look, I'm not taking a bunch of damage for free, I'm just leveraging rationing scales. Think about it correctly. Remnant Pact is tricky because if you give Fade 1 Burnout, she dies and can't kill bosses for you. And so like Burnout 1 and then Endless Tome seems bad. Yeah, I don't like it. Also Echoes and Wurmkin Spike are here. Wurmkin Spike is maybe fine. I don't care for it though. I want to draw? I mean, I already have 6. Do I want space? No, definitely not space. I mean, do I want energy? No, I guess I do want draw. How about that? Alright, I mean, removals are hard. I guess I will go left and we will beef up our Wickless Baron a touch, because my man deserves it. He's been doing his work. Quick. Alright, he's not getting shit. Size, I mean, -1 plus 15 is pretty interesting. Can I do that? Yeah, my entire floor, like all of the units in my deck come out to be 4 pips, so it does close off playing my entire team on the mid floor, but yeah, I don't care about that much. I'll take the damage. Sure. Don't forget to click the relic. Backstrips is okay. Advanced Prototype is terrible. I already got Flicker's Liquor. Why would I buy Hell's Banners here? I wouldn't. I'll take Jackstrips. It's maybe gonna kill some enemies that Fade would otherwise kill, but not many is what I feel. Yeah, no, really I just feel like it's a not many. It could happen. Like 1 or 2. Mark of Invasion. I don't think there's a good... I don't think I need the money from the Invasion Trial, and I also think that it'll kill me. So, 2 great reasons to not take it. I don't gain kills for it either. This is where the, what's a good saying here? This is where the rubber meets the road. That's a fun one. This is where we're gonna see if we're gonna sink or swim. This is where it all goes to shit. All of these sentences are good ways to say what I'm trying to say here. So we're gonna go... I think I actually want to... I want to kill Fade myself here. Then she can go mid-floor, kill this Gilded Wing, die of a burnout, and then go top floor. The days here is a little questionable. I gotta be real with you, Chief. But let's do some counting. I mean, this is just the case. Actually, it's not the case. Never mind. I was gonna say this is the case where I want to play Shelter, but I actually don't want to play Shelter. So it is not the case. I'll start pinging the next wave. Well, also 16, not enough, is it? No, it sure isn't. Probably take a look at that. It doesn't really matter how you go about it. I don't think. Should be fine. So the 5-3 dies, the 20-15s don't die, 15-2s die. Alright. So spikes. not gonna die to force contamination here. It's a good point. It's a great point, I would even say. If I shelter, I have to get you above 25. I can get you to 20, 21, 23. I can get you to 25. We have to go above 25. I could ping the 15 times 3, but I don't see a good reason to. Because not keeping Fade alive only lets me kill the Steel Wings, which, like, well, whatever. I guess I could kill the Steel Wings and then maybe I get this? It's okay, so it's a net neutral here. Because she's gonna burn out anyway. What if I kill Reform the 16 and I play Shelter? That sounds so bad. Yeah, then I can play Melee Weakness. That's probably your best idea here. Same number of kills for Little Fade, but in this line, I don't take damage. Fire damage, I should say. 37, we're just really slightly behind on the Fade damage. But the melee weakness is gonna hold it down, I suppose. What about maybe playing mid-floor on that turn? But nah. Gotta not let my deck fill with force contaminations also. Alright, Fade. Get in there. She kills 2 here, which is good. She never gets above 30 though, I don't think. Does she? I don't think so. I should be putting damage on the 190s actually. I haven't been thinking about that, but the damage I get from Frozen Nostalgia is legitimate. It's real damage that I care about. Good, very good, I would even say. Exceptional? No, I probably wouldn't say exceptional. She was dying to the spikes. That's weird. Less good now, isn't it? Probably not the end of the world like this, though. I'm just gonna play it out. I'm gonna ping Fade, probably. I didn't draw a ping. That really hurts my ping Fade idea, doesn't it? It's fine because of force contamination. 210. 210 times, yeah, I mean it's enough. When you get right down to it, no matter how you slice it here, this has to be enough damage. There's no way. Oh yeah, with that draw too, that's gotta be a one shot. Oh. Let's see. Oh wait, you wanna, there's a tricky, you see the tricky line here? There's a tricky line here. Yeah. No, there's not a tricky line. Never mind. Nice, Fade gets the kill. Cool. Thanks, not Primitive. Thanks, Molten Encasement. Resin removal, but it's purple? I mean, I have the removals. I could take it. I don't think I need it. Revenge is okay. Sure. I need a little bit more damage to get Fade there, because yeah, we're at 165. We're behind. We're just still behind. We're permanently behind with Little Fade here, and it's gonna probably lead to disaster. Actually, I don't think that this run's gonna make it. I think that this Spikes Fade run is gonna come up a little shy. And that's fine. When I play Spikes Fade, I am gambling a little bit. I know that. It's not a guarantee that this run is gonna just win for free. I've probably had to play some other units and not just Fade. However, I'm not doing that. There is a line that wins, actually, here. I'm gonna go left. You wanna try and follow it? I wanna try and follow it. So, what's the line that wins? Well, I'm gonna duplicate Force Contamination. And then maybe I draw... I mean, there's no way that I could even draw them on turn one and get them down. Nah, it's never gonna happen, but still fun to think about. I'm gonna cut a primitive mold. Resin removal did too much work. Echo break did too much work. Molten encasement's too important. I'm gonna get rid of a shelter. What's in here? These are bad, I think. Yeah, I think these are bad. Okay, I will reroll. Final answer. Base charge. That's good. A little bit fancy. I think the force contamination line is probably a disaster, but like, yeah, you know. What am I gonna do? Wickless Baron here? Don't be ridiculous. Don't be absurd. I'm not gonna duplicate Wickless Baron here. I'm gonna duplicate forced contamination. I don't want to remove anything else. I really just don't want to. I'm at 100 pack shards. Trinket shop. Nothing. I leave. We go. I think that in the moment that I took Faulty Loader, it sounded cool. In reality, it was not very cool. But this is good. This is fine. I should kill Fade. Yeah, I should kill Fade. I want Fade to be dying every turn. I needed to start stacking. I could do 20 times 2. I'm gonna play... I'm gonna play this on the boss, I guess. No, I don't need the echoes, you know? It's fine. It's all fine, it's all fine. It goes here. Kills 2, very nice. Good work, little Fade. And now, here's the game plan. We have a win condition for Seraph. Oh no, it doesn't work actually. This is Chase Seraph. Never mind, don't do it. Don't do it, you're gonna look silly. Alright, you're right. Good idea, I won't do it. I don't want to look silly. I was gonna start stacking melee weakness on Seraph, but that doesn't work here. Because he's chased. Now, I can play top 4 and cash out on a kill. Or and I believe that that's wrong. I think that if I play top 4 here, I am asking to die. I have to play Fade here, and I need to start fighting the good fight against the Gilded Wing. Now, obviously, I'm not going to let this damage happen to me. That's a given, I feel. But I can do 15 here to kill 1. You die. Guy dies next turn when I replay Fade. Okay. Or, what could I do here? I could do, it's 10 and 16, I have to get above... no way, right? 8 and 24 is 26, yes, no way. It's no way, it's no way. Okay. No reason to play Force Contamination here. I'm gonna play an Echo. I want to be able to play Force Contamination on each floor in Relentless. I need the ability. Am I gonna cement myself on top 4 here? I think I could. I really don't want Wickless Baron dying here. But at the same time, I just reform and then sit him aside. I don't love it. 15 puts you at... Do I have a shelter coming up? I might have shelter coming up as well. Or no, you know what? I could just revenge her. I think it's fine to play Fade here. I resin removal the bad stuff away. So out on pack shards. Or not pack shards, echoes, pardon me. I think there's some answer here. There's some answer here. Yeah. Thing reform is probably my answer here. I'll even take the echoes. I don't need the echoes, but I'll take them. There you go. Then she dies, and then I replay her here. This wave will be problematic slightly, so I just start throwing echo breaks at it now and hope that I don't get hit. But if I get hit, it's a risk I'm taking knowingly, I suppose. It's a possibility. Fade dies every turn, but she's taking entire floors with her now, which is good. And starting on the next turn, I can begin I don't want to mess with this. I want death on Fate. I can begin playing Force Contamination on Seraph. From here on, I play Force Contamination on Seraph. I want to put Echoes on this floor. Force Contamination. Fate goes here. She dies, that's very good. And then I go Primitive Mold, and I go Force Contamination again. And I go Primitive Mold again, because I want to maybe play it again, An interesting turn of events, for sure, where somehow we became, I need Force Contamination to kill the boss. But, hey, if it works, it works. Not gonna hear any complaints out of me. And then, of course, we're gonna use Molten Encasement to stealth on by, so that I can actually land the hit. They die next turn if I don't play this? No way, no chance. I mean, I guess I could play Echo Burst to kill her, but I can also just Molten Encasement and be fine. Slight issue is my melee weakness gets eaten, gets taken from me by Wickless Baron. A little bit more than a slight issue, I would say. Major issue, because Fade's gonna kill here, and then Wickless Baron's gonna hit twice, and he's gonna take all of the melee weakness, and then I might die. I have an Echo Break coming up. I have an Echo Break here. I have a Revenge here. What I would do here is I would just have to reorganize my floor, but I'm potentially going to get clapped by the Gilded Wing then. 80, 80, 160. This guy has 226. Too much. Force Contamination. I'm going to Force Contamination Seraph, of course, here. Maybe kill him. I could kill him. So, you gotta think about it a little bit here, I suppose. This is a longer run than I expected it to be. I disrespected Little Fade, but here I am. The problem here is if I just confidently slam Echo Break like I'm gonna draw it next turn, I might not. And then if I do that, I might die. Somewhere in here there's a guaranteed line that survives this fight. I'm sure. I'm like almost 100% on that point. There's almost certainly a guaranteed survival idea. What is it? Well, let me give it a moment of thought. I think that it's actually going to be something a little silly here. 35. I think that the guaranteed survival line here is I Revenge Fade. Follow me on this one. Come down here and play Primitive Mold. I play Fade here. And then I play Molten Encasement, and I think the boss dies. Yeah. It's a little bit sad because I lose 2 slays, but I'm just going to take the guarantee here. Because it's like, it gets kind of messy with the Wickless Baron being here, because if he takes my melee weakness away, I could run into some issues, I think. So, I'm going to take the guaranteed kill. I feel like that's best. Can you believe I disrespected a Little Fate? Or I disrespected this run. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a fast run. 50 minutes? It's not very fast at all, is it, mister? No, it sure isn't. As in removal. Go get him, buddy. Now, unfortunately, no matter where I play her, Fate is just going to die. So I may as well play her here. Dodge Ember Drain, etc. I may as well... No, it's not good to play Revenge here. I don't think. Play it here. I don't want that enemy living. 229 is not as much damage as I would like Little Fade to be doing here, but it's probably good enough. 3 here. Gonna do... This is where Shelter does well, because she gets to clip this 25 too that she would otherwise miss. Go here, and hope that I have enough. This is just basically, do I have enough shrugs, shoulders? I don't really know, brother. That's where this run is, truly. Do I have enough? I don't know, brother. We'll see. Need to make smart choices here, like I have to ping this enemy off when I see him. 240 dies to spikes, I think, but it's going to be pretty close. I could Force Contamination to save myself a little more pyre HP. I don't know how much I really care. 45, not quite. I don't think I want to spend all my echoes, but I guess I'm only actually spending like 1 echo on this. So that seems fine, actually. I do have to kill Fade. I have to ignore this wave. Like, the biggest bait that I can fall for here is trying to fight for this wave and trying to get slays on that wave. I have to ignore that wave. No way I can play into it. I have to deal with this wave of spikes, which, ooh, I don't even get the kill. Ooh, that's not great, buddy. That is not great. Okay. Force contamination is going to have to do a little bit of heavy lifting here. Taking that to 7's even scary. I don't know. Don't look at that damage I'm taking. It's quite a bit. Alright, team. This is the make or break. It looks to be break. Sadly. I believe this is defeat. Shockingly, a defeat at the hands of Little Fade. Not at the hands of Little Fade, at the hands of me. Well, the player. I don't blame Little Fade for this. Can I get this too? Can I make this damage up? Hold on. 4, 2, 3. I'm like 1 damage off, aren't I? I sure am. $16 and 11 is 27. Looking at if there's any way I can conceive of surviving this. There isn't really one that I can think of here. I don't think so. Then like... I mean, you may as well play it out to whatever the best possible option is, which is going to be Molten Encasement here, and then Ping here. I think I'm dead. I'm like almost certainly dead. Spikes and such is too much. I think that this run... Yeah, I probably should have won. I just think that Spikes Fade's a bit of a gamble here, because if you don't get your numbers super high, you're going to fall flat. Let me replay this combat, because I feel like maybe I could have done something else. But ultimately, what I really feel here is I feel like I shouldn't have taken... The idea behind Faulty Loader was cool, but I think that at the end of the day, it just ended up being shitty. Because in my mind, when I took Faulty Loader, I was like, oh yeah, so Fade's gonna kill 1 on this round, but she can't, because the boss just tramples her. That's the problem here. She's getting trampled and dying. If it wasn't for trample, this would be cool. But alas, trample is here. Let's play... I don't remember if I did this last time. No, there's no reason to play Force Contamination. That's why I didn't do it. Don't do anything. Alright. In this case, I will play the start the same. Go knock out that damage shield for what it's worth, not a lot. I think I killed this guy. I should actually be putting the 40 damage elsewhere and not in the 2015. Like, it's small stuff, but we can fight for every inch here. Because the 2015 dies to an Echo Break. Now, what I think I needed to be doing here is I need to make plays like this play here. Observe. I need to kill Fade and reform her again here. You gotta increment your timer a little bit more. I played Shelter last time. I gotta move faster towards our end goal. I'll also be putting more echoes on other floors. Yeah, no, I mean the daze here is just actually actively detrimental at this point. There is no way to really dance around it. It was a terrible idea. In hindsight, it was very bad. When I thought about it, I thought it was very cool. In reality, it sucks a lot. I thought it was really cool, though. Kill Fade. Reform Fade. I'm just fighting for Fade to have more HP now. I can get more kill reforms on her than I did last time because I can play a little more heads up for them now. Could have even got another kill on her, though, I think, with another pig. I don't have a reform. Correct. Do not do it. I can't reform here. Now, 241, this enemy is going to die. No matter what. It's gonna die, it's gonna give the armor. My life here for, like, silence, though, would be pretty big, too. But I think I have enough health on Fade where we can sneak out of this now, assuming I draw a Primitive Wolf next turn. I think that this is fine. So actually, I lost the first time around because I misplayed, I feel. Not necessarily over yet, but I think I just made a misplay or two. So 238 and 13 is not 245, right? Right. So let's sit up for this. I think that because Preserving Shelter, I also draw it on this turn. 16 and 11 is 27. Shelter lets me hit this Clip Guardian, and all of a sudden things don't look so terrible. Because I can Echo Break here, and then we kill the whole wave. Force Contamination here. As long as I draw a Reform, I think we should actually be in the clear now. Never mind, we are extremely not in the clear. I would like to take back any ever moment of mentioning the words the clear. We are definitively not in the clear. 22... 31. Wow, she's dying exactly here. Which is very bad because it means Inquisitor lives. I indeed don't like that. I mean, he just kills me. So... what do we do about that? I mean, it has to be something like I kill my own Fade somewhere in here, right? Oh, yeah. Hold on. 47. So it has to. You have to play this one out in a pretty specific way. Fade has to go here. Molten Encasement has to go here. And then I'll kill the Inquisitor. I have to ping Fade so I can kill her next turn. And I do need to kill her next turn. And then I can go, like, Revenge here. Yeah. That's fine. This wave that's coming up is very problematic. Now, we're in a position at this point where we're not able to really stop and think, like, well, what am I going to do about the next turn? I have to stop and think about this turn. Oh yeah, also that can happen and then I just lose. I don't have a choice. Well, no, hold on. There's a small chance that I'm okay still. I could draw, or I could win the 1 and 3. I did not. Okay, that can also happen too, and I'm just gonna die to that. It's okay. It happens. It's fine, Monster Train. I get it. I could definitely win this. It's just hard. That's all there is to it. It's hard because the waves are all bad. Like, this wave is really difficult. I think that if I don't miss that 50-50, I'm chilling. Now that I think about it, because no, this wave's not that difficult. I have enough health to kill it. That's really frustrating as a loss, isn't it? Oh god, that's a real shame. So, man, I lost because I incanted that guy one too many times, putting the melee weakness down. I'm off by 2 there. Maybe I did my math wrong or something and there was a way to get out of it. I bet I did, but I'm not replaying this again. Take me away. Get me out of here. Little Fade, it's free, but also, so Little Fade is a very strong champion that you can win from almost, you can win every run with Little Fade. However, in this position, like this run, I think that Spike's Fade is not a guaranteed win. It's a lot, I mean, it is a guaranteed win if you play perfectly, but I didn't play perfectly. No, it's 5 a.m. God damn. I didn't play this out perfectly, and that's gonna happen. So, what's the answer to Little Fade? She's 100%. She's still the strongest champion. You can lose runs with this champion, etc. What's the answer? How do you win this run? Oh, you pick the other Fade. That's easy. You just pick the quick Fade. I don't play the quick Fade because I think she's boring. I think Spike's Fade is more fun and interesting. I think that in this run, quick Fade is the better answer. I think that Spike's Fade is not good with clans that don't have options to keep her alive. And Wurmkin did have an option to keep her alive, I just didn't see it. So, you know, there's more variance to the Spikes fade. Take the quick fade because she's more consistent. However, it doesn't. Or you could just play at not 4 a.m. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.